Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Many of you guys have messaged me about this video and it's finally out. I have to be honest, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to make this video, but I have. So if you could, I would massively appreciate you like this video, share with your family and friends and subscribe to the channel. But my brothers and sisters, Wahid investment. Is it halal? Is it haram? What's my thoughts on it? I want to share that with you, and inshallah this video will benefit you guys. So make sure to stay until the end. Make sure to really take it in, because trust me, I can understand why someone would go down the route of investing in Wahid, etc, etc. So look, just let me give my little, you know what I mean. I first heard about Wahid investment when actually they came down to our mosque. Was the first time, actually, to be fair, that I heard about Wahid investment. People around spoke good things about them. Listen, people have spoken good things about them. I don't know anyone there in particular as such. We've had conversations in the past. Very brief, by the way. But before we get into Wahid investment, I want to just highlight stocks itself. What is the view on stocks? There are a few views on stocks. Some of the people of knowledge, they tell us that stocks are actually permissible if the company you're investing in only does halal work, as in an engineering manufacturing company, a company that makes cars, a company that stays away from impermissible things which are impermissible in Islam, like alcohol, drugs, gambling, riba. So if a company does this work, then you cannot basically invest in that company. So you can invest in the company that does permissible work, but you can't invest in a company that does impermissible work. That's one opinion. The second opinion is you can technically invest in the stock market, as in it is permissible to invest in the stock market, but you can't actually invest in the stock market. And let me explain. See, every single company in the stock market, that's an assumption, I have to be honest. Nearly every single company in the stock market, they use interest-based loans. There's no doubt. They use loans which have interest on them to grow their company and so on and so forth. I mean, this is normal. This is actually taught in business books when, you should, good debt. Good debt is a good thing. Good debt, only a little bit of interest. It's okay. But for Muslims, that's the hellfire. That's not okay. Major sin. Big issues. And so I would say the more contemporary, the more classical, I find that how can I say this? Have the opinion that investing in the stock market is permissible, but it's not permissible if that company deals with interest, which most of the time they do. It's not therefore permissible to invest in that company. So now Tesla, for example, Tesla is a manufacturing company that invests, they make cars and they do other things as well, like panels and stuff. But for, the layman, basically, let's say they're a company that manufactures cars. Opinion one says permissible based on the fact that the work that they do is permissible. Though number two, the opinion says that because Tesla take out interest-based loans, it is not permissible to invest in that company. Though there is the third opinion, and the third opinion is you can invest in a company as long as their interest, their debt ratio, it doesn't go above 30%. The 30% is the number that some companies use, and that's anything above that makes it impermissible. Anything under that, one would hope it's Sharia compliant, basically. And the reason I wanted to highlight this before we go into the details of it is because anyone to come out now to you guys and say stocks are permissible, I recommend Wahid, or I recommend so and so, it doesn't really make sense, because a lot of the classical people of knowledge, they tell us that stocks are not permissible to invest in. In fact, by the way, this is not just Wahid. I'm not just referring to Wahid. Even the people of knowledge on the boards of, the investing Islamic Sharia compliant companies will say, inshallah, because the company's interest, loan bearing debt is less than 30%, inshallah, it is permissible. So would I now say, go invest in stocks? To be honest with you, my brothers and sisters, the one main reason I don't tell you guys, I don't talk about stocks as much is because of that. I can't turn around to you guys and say it's permissible when Sheikh, so and so in, Jordan or Saudi, wherever, says it's not permissible. How can I turn around to you and say it's okay? And so on that, I would say this: whether Wahid is permissible or not permissible depends on the opinion that you go with, and you have to go to your people of knowledge, check with the people of knowledge on how stocks work, explain it to them and tell them what is permissible, what isn't permissible. They need to run that through. I can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, how can I run through something like that, which is of detail, and the people of knowledge differ on it? However, if you go with the opinion it is permissible, should you therefore use Wahid? I'll tell you when you should. You should use Wahid when you want to invest your money into the market and you don't want to look at it for a year or 2 years. Because Wahid are a little bit expensive. There's no doubt they are a little bit expensive. And so what probably makes more sense is finding an app, and there are apps out there. I'm not going to recommend any because I haven't screened or found out which are, I can't recommend a app to you in particular, but there are apps out there that basically screen a stock to find out what stock is permissible based on the 30%. And so on that, they will say this stock is permissible, this stock is not permissible. So you guys could technically invest in a stock by using the app, checking which stock is permissible and not permissible, and then going and investing in it yourself using trading 212, which is free. Or, you could save yourself a lot more money by just doing some work, which in essence probably takes a few minutes, every 2-3 months. So I would recommend Wahid if you're with the opinion it's permissible, that's fine. But if you haven't checked with your people of knowledge, make sure you go to your people of knowledge and check with them. Is it permissible? Is it not? And only then come up with an opinion on whether you even want to go ahead with it. However, if you then find out, okay, I think it's cool. My people of knowledge, they explained it to me. All right, fair enough. I would say if you're willing to put some work and effort in, and by that, go on an app and find out what is permissible, what isn't, by using an app that are already made for that stuff. Use an app and then invest and go to one of these websites and buy the stocks yourself. That probably makes a lot more sense because it's cheaper, and it just means that you have to keep on top of it. But again, you might be like, look, I can't be bothered. I just want to chuck my money in it and not look at it again. Cool. On that basis, Wahid will probably be for you. And that makes sense, and that's fair enough. A disclaimer though, and I want to kind of make this clear, this isn't promoted by anyone. Like, Wahid didn't promote this. No apps promoted this. This is just me. You know what I mean? Like, I could have gone to app Fulan and said, promote this video. And trust me, there were people that wanted to promote the video, but we didn't do that because I want to be like transparent with you guys. Like, I want to just give my opinion and not be like, oh, you should go with so and so. You know what I mean? And so that's what we will end with. That's my conclusion. And so hopefully, inshallah, that gives you a better idea. There's much more to it. I can't just say it is or it isn't permissible. That's wrong. Cool. If I was like Sheikh Fulan, I studied and so, I really understand the financial system. I really understand the stock system, and then I understand the Islamic side. So I hope, again, this video benefited you guys. Again, if it did, make sure to smash the like button, share with your family and friends, and subscribe to the channel. But that's all from me. Wa jazakallahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.